Wanted to take a minute to talk about this book right here, Lucifer's Hammer. It's possibly one of the best science fiction books I have ever read. There have been a couple of attempts over the years to get it uh, put into movie format or video format or screenplays running around. And I followed it not because I work in the industry, but because I love that book that much. And I've always kind of followed the news on it whenever I can or whenever I come across it. I don't know my dig, but whatever. Um, and the more I look at what it really takes to transition to film or what you can and can't really do in that format versus print, I don't think it would work as a movie. I just don't. I think it would possibly work as a streaming series, but then it runs the risk of doing like a Walking Dead thing where it just kind of goes on for too long. I think it would make a great 20 or 30 part series, but I don't think it would make, 7, 8 seasons. So I think that's part of why this particular one, I don't think will ever be in some form of video format that even closely approximates the book. That being said, let me put I actually do have a PhD in physics hat on. The science in this thing, dead nuts on. What would actually happen to society in this thing with an apocalyptic event of this nature? I don't think it's that far off. If you're into post-apocalyptic books, this one it has pre-apocalypse, it has while the apocalypse happens, and it has some after the apocalypse. It is actually possibly one of the best all-around books I have ever laid my hands on. That's the first edition, by the way, put out by Playboy Press of all people. But if you haven't read it, absolutely read it. If you think it can be transitioned to film, I'd love to hear from you. Maybe we could talk about it. Maybe you see a way I don't. Now that being said, I have no contacts in the industry that would actually do it. I am certainly not about to throw $300 million at it because that check would bounce. But if you see a way to make that happen, I'd love to just have that conversation with somebody. So um, it take a look at the book if you haven't read it and you love that kind of stuff. Absolutely pick it up. It's one of the best sci-fi books out there, and I think really one of the best reads I've had in my entire life. So, and once I finish rereading the book I'm rereading now, I might actually reread this one. It's been like 20 years. So everybody have a great week and click like and subscribe below.